Caleb, your ability to not put the ball in harm's way is really special. Statistically, I could go into the numbers, but where does that come from? Is there an art to it in terms of decision making, or is it something that has accrued over time in your career that you just have a knack for making good decisions?
Yeah, I think it's something that's been preached in me and instilled in me throughout my career, and then I think the other half of it is decision making, belief and trust in what I'm seeing, but also belief and trust in the guys that are out there. And so, I mean, I've it's not like I haven't put the ball in harm's way this year or throughout my career. It's just the belief and trust in them, belief and trust in myself and what I'm seeing, and then I think I heard Matthew Stafford say this once. Sometimes you throw it hard enough, typically the DBs can't catch it.
Is there something about being risk averse? Because I know that term kind of carries a negative connotation, but it seems like at least in theory it's a good thing. How do you balance that?
Yeah, I think I just. I mean, I honestly don't really think about it too much in the sense, my job is to go out there and make plays. And, if I put the ball in risk, it's more or less me putting the ball in risk with I would say higher percentages of us, coming down with it or at least being incomplete. And so, I think, the risk and reward thing, I think it comes down to situations. A part of it is a part of it. And understand the situation, third downs and things like that. If you throw the ball vertical on a third down and it ends up being a kind of a 40-yard 50-yard punt in a sense, and obviously you don't want to just start turning the ball over and things like that, but there are situations where you give your guys a shot in those situations, and then fourth down, obviously, end of the game and things like that, you gotta put the ball a little bit more harm's way. But I think just playing smart and being smart throughout it all is kind of how I think about it.
Yeah, Mary up at the top, and you guys are tops in the league in fewest giveaways.
Yep.
Tops in the league in most takeaways. What do you make of that combination, both sides of the ball?
Yeah, that's been a big reason why we win games. When you don't turn the ball over, your percentages go up tremendously. To win games, and then when you get turnovers, and especially when you get multiple turnovers in games, which we've done, a hell of a job of. Your chances go up also tremendously. So you put those two together, and at the end of the day, you're winning a bunch of ball games like we have this year.
You're 270 yards away from getting to 4,000. To what extent does that matter to you?
Yeah, I think for me, it'd be cool just in the sense of there's never been one here, and I think I was brought here for those type of things and those type of moments that things that haven't been done here, to try and be able to accomplish. And, I think like I've said before, the self goals and all of that always gets swept under when you go for the team goals. And that's winning ball games. And so that's first and foremost on my mind. That's first and foremost for this team, because the most important thing is winning ball games and heading into the playoffs with, some momentum and some good energy heading into the playoffs.
You're obviously understanding that this franchise's struggles with the quarterback position in the past. What does that do to drive you in terms of the idea of shattering records and to really assert yourself as at top of the record books here in a lot of ways?
Yeah, I knew that coming here, and like you said, and that's a goal of mine is to be the top of them all. I want to be the best quarterback, not only for Chicago but in the league, and that starts with consistency. That starts with me preparing the right way, and so it's important to me because that's I don't get up to be mediocre. I don't get up to not come to work and be at my best and go on the football field and do what I do. And so I want to keep growing. I want to keep growing for myself. I want to keep growing for my legacy, but I also want to keep growing for this team.
The last 3 games, Green Bay, Cleveland, San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
Statistically, it's the best you've played in the NFL. Does it feel like that to you? And is there something beyond the statistics that you're seeing that tells you this is going better than it ever has?
Yeah, I think I've said this multiple times. I think I'm playing better than I have. And you said these last 3 games, but even going back to some of the other games that I've said it is some of the stats may not show, but I feel that I'm playing better, and I said that it's going to start showing here soon, and I think that's a small sample of that. And so, like I said, I got to keep growing. I got to keep getting better, so I can go out there and keep performing and giving my team the best chance to win.
You talked about momentum, and Ben talked to us about, wanting to rebound from what happened in San Francisco, and I don't know if week 2 in Detroit is still on your mind, but how much do those losses, or even just again this most recent one, factor in wanting to get that taste out of your mouth and get a win?
Yeah, I think anytime you lose, you wanna get back on track. You want to get back on a winning streak and things like that. And that'd be great for us to, get that going. Versus, I know their record is 8-8 or so, right? And so, and they're not necessarily in the playoffs, but that's a really good team over there. Really good offense, especially. I know they got a bunch of guys down on defense and things like that, but well coached team. I know they're going to come out and fight. They've been in this situation before. Where they may have not made the playoffs, and they come out and they beat a team that is going to the playoffs or in the playoffs or whatever the case may be a few years ago and things like that. So they're going to come out and fight, and we gotta hold our own. And we gotta come out and match that energy, if not more.
Going back to something you said last week about the evolution of your bond with Ben.
Yep.
How did it go for you from being something where you felt it was fragile to
Yeah.
something where you're really into it and you feel like this is the best thing for you?
At what point? What do you?
How did it break through?
Yeah,
for you?
I think the constant meetings, the constant communication, his consistency and who he is. He wasn't on one day and off the next, or on one week and off the that's who he's been. That's how he's going to be. And so when you start, when you can sit back and realize that's who somebody is, the respect, the trust, the loyalty grows, and and then you go out there on the football field and what he's saying works. And the plays work, and the alignments and the assignments, they work, and then that trust and loyalty starts to grow, and you build more of that, and then the bond and all of that starts to grow a lot more.
In the summer, what were the things that he was on you the most about when you think back to the things
Oh,
that
man.
pissed him off?
Yeah, everything. I can't necessarily pinpoint one thing. Drops, footwork, cadence, plays in the huddle, getting them out faster. Diagnosing defenses better, faster, getting the ball out. I can keep going on and on. Yeah.
When you get to the postseason,
Yeah.
what are you gonna lean on from him the most, just given he does have the playoff experience, this is your first go around with it?
Yeah, I'll ask questions. Obviously, it is still football. It is just another football game, and that's how I think of it. I don't go into it. This game is bigger than the next, or this game is bigger than week 17 for me. That's never how I go into games and things like that. And I think that's a constant mindset that I have for myself, and throughout my years and throughout this year is no game is bigger than what we're at. And so being able to make sure that I go into the game with that mindset, being able to make sure that I'm level-headed, and make sure that we're focused on the details, and make sure we don't let the details slip, because that's what loses these games and these primetime games, or these playoff games and things like that.
Caleb,
2 more.
I remember you telling us when you got drafted that you would actually ask the Bears, why hasn't there been a 4,000-yard passing? What answer did they give you at the time? And it seems like you've understood since before you got here that number might just be a number, but it does symbolize something.
Yeah, in 100 and I don't know how many years, but it's never been done. So it symbolizes something, but I don't exactly remember what they told me the answer was, but a lot of it comes from the weather and all these different things, and kind of how Chicago has been with running the ball and all these different things, and so I think they am choosing right. I got a strong enough arm to cut through the wind, and I've been blessed with that.
You've been pretty open about your increased comfort with Colston.
Yeah.
Specifically on Sunday when you hit that little up and out and up route to him up the left side. And what did you see from him on that play?
Yeah, ran a great route. The play fake offensive line and running back. They did a great job being able to. I believe it was number 57. Make 57. Stay near the line, and Colston was able to get behind him, and then obviously turn on the Jets, and there's a lot of space, and just give him a good ball, see what he does with it. So yeah, awesome. The Bears.